Okay, my friends, well wishers, a very good evening to all of you. We are somewhat late, a little bit today, a little late, but nevertheless, we are on the program. And welcome, Dr. Richard.
Thank you.
Theo, how are you? How have you been?
I've been good. I've been good.
Very good. I
Yeah.
understand that you're having lots of rain there.
Yeah, lots of rain and nice cool weather.
Wonderful.
It's sort of confusing. You can think you think the wind is beginning again, but it's good. I'll take it.
Okay, you got to say fall weather, man.
Yeah,
You don't want to go back to you don't want to go back to winter. It's gonna be too cold.
yeah. It was cold though. It was cold a few days
But in
back.
Guyana, it was cold. Really, how cold was that? I mean, you had to wear a sweater.
Yeah, it was like 50s.
Wow. Yeah, that's sweater weather.
It was tricky.
Yeah,
You go to 80 and then you switch down to 50 something, 40 something.
I got to pay attention to those temperatures because of my travels.
Yeah,
So I got to pay attention. Anyhow, welcome to the program once again, and we are finding at least in Guyana, we're finding that many persons continue to be afflicted with cancer.
yeah.
And it's concerning because it's getting younger and younger.
It is
Yeah,
true.
getting younger and younger, and um, persons are confused as to what is going on. Why is it that we're having so many persons that are showing up with cancer? At least at our clinic, we've seen that a lot, and they've been out there getting screenings done and some biopsies, and um,
Yeah,
it's being realized that it's indeed so. You know,
yeah. We getting calls from around the country too. Uh,
yeah,
the thing is, you help one person, and that one person has it's like
it's like a domino effect.
yeah, it's like a fraternity. Somebody who have the situation knows somebody else who has it, and when they find a helping situation, a situation that can be of ease to them, they share the information. So I've been getting calls, a lot of calls. The phone's been ringing a lot.
Yeah, I found also that in Florida, the same thing is happening.
Hmm.
And the only thing there is that the difference there is that persons are realizing that it exists in them at stage 3 and 4,
Yeah,
which it makes it a little difficult for us because it is in an advanced stage pretty much. And some persons are even given the amount of time they're going to live or die,
yeah,
you know. So it's kind of troubling. It's troubling to know that at this era and this time that we in the medical world are not able to, in spite of all the research that's being done, we're not able to zap cancer out of people easily, you know. And I think that I was thinking about that. As a matter of fact, I woke up this morning about 2:30. It's starting again,
mm,
and I couldn't go back to sleep because I'm in my brain. I am trying to find answers. What's going on and why, and what can we do to make a difference in the lives of those who walk through our doors. They're really counting on us because when all hope
fails.
fails,
Yeah, it's true.
we try to give them a little bit of hope again. And some persons come through okay,
Yeah,
and others it's not so easy, and it's not. Sometimes it doesn't happen because of the late stages that they would have arrived. So it is. it is very heart rendering, if you can say that, to see that persons are told that you only have 6 months to live, a
Yeah,
year to live, and
it's not a good
put
thing.
your things in order. It's.
Hmm.
I still don't believe that we should put a time on people's lives because we really don't know.
No, we can't. I mean, and some individuals, they use that when they're as fuel to fight because they want to. And a lot of them that I come across, this is the scenario I'm getting. They've been praying and they've been asking God to show them a way, and they're telling, they're revealing to me, not initially, but uh, after the treatment, uh, that they're there because I usually ask who, how you end up,
Referred you.
yeah, who referred you or how do you,
Yeah.
you know. And a lot of times, they give me names of individuals who've been there uh, with the situations, same conditions, and I've gotten better, and are doing better. And many times they would say that they're there because of prayer. You know, God, and they impressed God impressed them to come uh, to where we are. You know, and that's a good thing because we're praying too. You
Yeah.
know, and praying and asking God to help us to direct us because it's really an epidemic. I mean, I don't know if I should use that word, but it's very prevalent. And most of them have one thing in common.
Yeah. They've been vaccinated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and some not knowing hold it as a badge of honor and go as far as say, "Well, I got everything that was suggested," you know, and it's not a good thing.
One thing happened in my thoughts as I lay there. I mean, early in the morning, and it's quiet and you hear everything. And one thing kept, you know, reminding me, and it kept going on and on, that it's important that we continue to advise people to enhance their immune systems.
Hmm.
Enhance your immune system because that's basically the weapon you have.
That's where the attack began
Yeah.
because a lot of people were fighting their system, their bodies were fighting some pre-existing conditions or conditions that were, they were aware of that they had. And after they got immune system weakened, you know, then they succumb,
Yeah.
and that's very common because that's the first system that, one of the first systems that pops to the top after you do the initial screening is that the weak system's immune system
Hmm.
pops right.
Hmm. That's indeed so because it happened even this evening. My last patient, same thing.
Yeah,
Same thing. So the first thing that came up in the weak system was the immune system,
yeah.
and the other one was urogenital,
Number
which
five, five, six, and five. Correct.
yeah, yeah.
Very true.
When you screen and you investigate the urogenitals, you're finding trichomonas and chlamydia.
Hidden infections.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not into conspiracy theory, but some individuals were saying initially, earlier, that these things were also in the vaccine and also were in the coronavirus itself. The particle that was made. You know, that those were part of and parcel of the viral content itself, and also more were placed in the vaccine. I mean, we had earlier discussions about this. I mean, what,
Hmm.
2 or 3 years ago, and I'm very sure if there were people look into that, we were talking about that at the time, because when it was mentioned at the time, it was indicated that it was fake news, you know,
Yeah,
or falsity,
conspiracy.
Yeah,
They said it was conspiracy theory,
spirit, yeah, you know,
but the conspiracy ended up becoming the reality.
and that's the sad part of it. You Sometimes you wish that what they said initially was true, because too many people are some already gone. You know.
Yeah, and it's becoming it's like it's like it's like a time clock. You know, when the hour when the hand ticks and passes an hour, somebody else comes along and they have the same issue.
Hmm.
You know, and then when you investigate it, you find that they've been vaccinated.
Yeah, fully.
That one goes along, and then another one comes on, and you
Yeah.
find that they didn't only take the vaccine, but they take the boosters.
Yeah, yeah.
You
That's the thing.
know, and what we're finding is that those who took the boosters normally are advancing faster.
Wow.
Yeah, the conditions advances faster. But you
It's like
see,
rocket booster.
because yeah, because we have the ability to penetrate the cells and to investigate. The device allows us to investigate. We can pretty much see what's all in people
Yeah.
from the vaccine. What was in that vaccine itself, or those vaccines themselves, and then we able to pinpoint um, the enemies that are attacking their bodies. I can say enemies because they're destructive. You know, be able to recognize them. For instance, one of the biggest culprits in the whole process is the adenovirus.
Yeah. All of those lines.
I keep seeing like daylight the
Yeah.
adenovirus in many persons. Like today it was crazy. I saw this guy was just coughing, 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 coughing. When we investigated him, he didn't only have the the adenovirus. He had bronchitis. He had streptococcus pneumonia.
Yeah. Yeah. All that comes up. It's a
All
back.
the other everything that goes with it. And
Yeah.
then
Pneumonia and bronchitis
yeah, when you asked
and all
him,
those things going
he
on.
was totally obliterate. He oblivious to the fact that he thought that this thing that he took was going to stop everything from happening to him.
Yeah. I mean, that was the traditional understanding that the public had, that when you take a vaccine, it's supposed to protect you. You know,
But the
from
key word there is vaccine.
yeah.
How long does it take to formulate, generate, and administer? When a real vaccine, when it takes sometimes years,
But this one that was given,
months.
this is an mRNA type of vaccine, and what an mRNA does, it it, it's a codon that is used to preempt the production of protein. So that was given, and so your body created this protein, and this protein is referred to as an antigen.
Mhm.
Antigen just means something that would attack your system, because what it did was initiate your immune system to start acting and fighting. But what it actually did was it made the body believe that it was part of it, its system.
Mhm.
You know, the enemy came in and aligned itself and made
Disguised
guys exactly.
and acted as if it's part of you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here to protect you. I'm here to
There you go.
destroy what's going to attack you.
Exactly.
Then, but then that's the enemy within.
That's right. You know, it remind me of them
Because
old movies where you have the people that dress up like the other army, and they just move in, and they start attacking within.
from internal.
Yeah, and then when the scientists earlier on were talking about a spike protein that aligns itself, we're able to go through the plasma membrane of cells, all cells, every cell, and take this virus directly into into the cells of the body and start creating and producing this wild type of protein. People earlier said that it was crazy. There is no spike protein.
Hmm.
Now we come to realization that there is.
Yeah.
And this same spike protein is what we're finding lying in the lungs and the trachea of people with coronavirus. You know, they've been vaccinated after so many years, and when you look at the lung and you check, you see it's all black. Like, what's going on here? You
Sometimes it ends up in the brain,
in the every year, wherever,
heart.
wherever it's there. And I noticed something very common, and this is not. I'm not talking any theory or uh, what they used to call people when they talk like this earlier, conspiracy. No, no, these are things that I'm seeing almost every day,
Hmm.
right? And you are too. That when you look and you see at the person you ask is a very similar. They're saying very similar things, and people think they think that we are. How will you know this? Because I can tell them. I said, look, at night, when are you congested? How you know I'm congested? I do get congested. I said, are you getting it at night or in the morning? All of them
Hmm. At
different,
night.
you know. And people who, some people are saying, well, they thought it was pollen or whatever that they're allergic to. I've been having this thing for over 3 years now. Every night, I have a whole lot of mucus in my sinuses, and you check it's coronavirus.
Yeah. So what do we do? There's no way that um, the act can be reversed. It's already done, and people are probably saying in their screens right now because remember we are really designed for home television. Our
Mm.
program is actually designed for home television, but we've expanded into YouTube and Facebook, because of the ongoing growth and presence of the apps. But persons can call us if they like to call. They can call in and they can air their concerns or health concerns, and we try to address them with the number on the screen. I have the phone right next to me if they want to call. But people, for the most part, they listen to us and they try to digest and learn and maybe put things together in their own minds. But this program actually started out as a call-in program, live on TV at the television station. I was doing it since 1996 actually, and we were first on channel 9 in Guyana, and then we went to channel 16 or 67, and now we came to channel 2. You know, because of the changes in channel 2 is like home television. So we were in channel 2. People would call in when I'm at the studio. Like for instance, if I go live at the studio, people will call in because they know I'm there on the television. But like they see me here, they think that they can still call because I'll still be able to answer the phone and address their concerns. But the thing that I know is happening is that people are saying to themselves, "What can we do? This is already done. We can't reverse it. What can we do?" Well, when I laid there last night, or this morning actually, that is the thought that kept going on in my head. Now that it's done several years now, and we see what is happening to people, what can they do to help themselves? Because we can't help everyone. We cannot be there to. We're not supposed to save everyone or to to help everyone, but physically. But maybe we can help them because they're looking at us and they have the question, what can we do now? So I believe that the first thing they must do is uh,
You
take
know,
a look at themselves and try to understand what's happening with their body system. If strange things are happening that never happened to you before, don't wait. Don't wait too late. You know, get to us because if you go to the average place, I don't want to call any places, but if you go to the average place, they're not going to look at it the way we look at it. They're going to look at it from a standpoint of some condition arise in you. But we look at the entire body system to understand what is really going on with it, and then we make decisions along with some changes that are recommended. But I would say that the first thing that people need to do is look at themselves, look at what they're eating and drinking, look at the dietary situation. What the next thing that's happening is that we're finding an enormous amount of chemicals in people.
mm-hmm.
I'm seeing it all the time. I mean, the long list of all the chemicals, including lead and mercury, which are metals, heavy metals, cadmium, lead, mercury. We're finding those along with the mycotoxins and the chemicals, and some people are shocked when we find it or when we tell them that they have these things in them because they're saying, where did I get all this from?
Mm-hmm.
The thing that also has to be factored in is the foods that we're eating. Many of the foods that we eat are contaminated,
Mm-hmm.
but we have to eat. We have to cook foods and we have to eat. So it's very difficult for us, some people, not to be able to uh, to purchase foods, or they find it difficult to find the foods that are lesser or no chemicals in the marketplace. Most of the foods out there are chemicalized because they use fertilizers, they use the chemicals to kill insects and all that. So the chemicals are in the produce. So it is very difficult for them to avoid the chemicals because it's in the things that they cook. You see,
Mm-hmm.
many of the products that are in tins are in tins that contain lead.
Mm-hmm.
The water contains lead. Much of the water contains lead.
Yeah.
Many of the foods that they eat, including the seafoods, most of the seafoods contain mercury.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have fillings in their mouths that has mercury inside,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know.
Yeah. True.
You see, so it makes matters more complicated because um, now you have more factors that are compounding the situation.
Yeah.
You have the chemicals from the all of the viruses that were placed in the so-called vaccine. They're in your body, and they keep attacking your immune system all the time.
Can we say that now? I remember we couldn't say it earlier.
We can say it because it's happening.
It's real. They don't take it on anymore.
It's real.
Yeah.
We're seeing it, and the people are feeling it, and they are wondering, where did I get this virus from? Where did I get that virus from?
Mm.
Of course, we know that people can pick up viruses from other persons.
Of course. Of course.
So, but how did the first person get it in the first place?
Yeah. And then I've seen people with a lot of autoimmune diseases, and we talked about the cancers. Also, scleroderma. They're getting lupus or lupus
I was
like.
going to mention that we're seeing a lot of lupus again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
especially with the young people who went and got the vax. Um, we can detox and
Got the
help
shot.
detox. Huh?
They got the shot.
Yeah, they got the shot. I'm so conditioned. I couldn't say the shot word, but we can help to detox their system.
I think that is a good approach to take. Besides enhancing the immune system, and you want to enhance the immune system with. Let me see if we can take a call. Let me see. Here's my speaker. Good evening. I lost the person.
Oh boy.
They can call back. They can call back. I don't know why I disconnected, but they can call back if they wish to.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Let's see you get him this time. Good evening.
Good evening. Good night, Doctor.
Yes, good evening. You on to the program.
I'm just finding out.
You have
I feel like a crumb in my hand and my
Oh,
brain.
all right. Here's what you got to do first. You got to turn the volume of your television down because we're getting an echo of feedback. Okay. Take the remote and turn the volume down and listen in the phone.
Yes,
Okay. You see you're having a cramp in your hands.
yes, in my hand and my 2 feet.
No, the cramp that you're
Sometimes
referring
my
to,
face.
the cramp that you're referring to, is it the one that is painful or the one that's tingling or is it with numbness?
The numbness sometimes and sometimes it's painful.
Painful. Okay.
Yeah. But you gotta check her blood sugar.
Are you diabetic or
That
you
is okay. My blood sugar is okay.
blood sugar is okay?
My pressure, everything is okay.
All right, very well. What is your body size? Are you small or big?
Lord.
You small. Okay.
You know this my doctor is radical.
Okay, okay, all right. Well, it's difficult on the phone. So, all right. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. Now what could be happening, and it's very possible that you may be lacking some potassium.
Yeah. Electrolytes.
Okay? You need to get some electrolytes and you need to get some potassium. And you can get potassium from bananas. You can get electrolytes from lemon and water. Simple as that. And you may be having some circulation issues also.
Yes, I'm sorry.
You have circulation issues. Okay. Now, what are you doing for the circulation? Are you doing a little exercise or so?
And I wrote the road I walk with for you. And the main road about 20 pounds.
That's how you get your exercise. Well, what I would suggest you do, right? Try and get some potassium in your body, maybe just from the bananas or from yellow plantains. Yellow plantains have a lot of potassium too.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, yellow plantains have more potassium than bananas, right? So you could boil the yellow plantain and
Yes.
eat the yellow plantain, boil it and eat it, or use the bananas, and then you can use the lemon and water for your potassium your electrolytes, and then you want to do some walking, some brisk walking, or some exercise at home. You don't have to go anywhere. You can do some running on the spot, or you can jump rope, and you don't have to have a rope to jump. You can just act like you're using a rope and jump. All right. But what you want to do is to get the blood moving. Get the blood moving.
And if she's having some,
Okay.
need to know if she has some atherosclerosis. You need to check, see the blood vessels and the veins you know, are okay and not clogged.
Yeah. How long you having this issue?
So why is I went high now?
good while. Well,
I just promised to come in and come in, and I reached there.
all right, you promised to come in, and you're promising to come in when you're ready. When it's more than you, you're gonna come in. But
I let me know.
in the meantime, just do what I suggest, and you're gonna get some relief. Okay.
Yes.
Now, the other thing that you want to
All
do is
right.
listen. You want to cut back on your fried foods, oily, fried, fatty foods.
I like fatty food.
You
I
don't.
like meat, no fish, nothing.
All right. Well, that's a good. That's good. That's very good. What about fried foods, fried things?
I don't go over and eat different stuff. I would try it down with the mind.
All right. Cut back on the fried foods because you're not exercising. You're not very active, and you're going to retain a lot more than you would if you were active. So just do what I suggest, and then maybe try it for at least 2 weeks, and let me know. You can call back on the program another day and let us know how you do. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for calling in. Bye. That's how the program started, just like that. We would take the calls, and it was like a doctor on call, and
Yeah.
we spent an hour just giving people advice, and we
Well,
continue to do it since 1996.
wow.
Yeah, I think we have the longest health program on television right now in
Wow.
Guyana.
Guyana.
Mhm.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, but the other thing that since the caller um, mentioned it, we really don't have many facilities here to accommodate the elderly. We don't have many. When I say to accommodate, to have them go places where they can share with each other. They can uh,
Hmm.
get to a gym and work out with each other amongst each other at that pace, and go walking. There are places they can go walking, but to get to the places, they don't have the facilities or the convenience, like a bus like we have in many countries in the States, where they can join a bus and they're taken to the park or something like that. And there's a schedule where
Yeah.
they know that they can walk an hour and the bus will take them back. We don't have that sort of thing.
Yeah,
We
they
have
have them all
station,
over the
but
place. For the senior citizen centers.
yeah, we don't have. Well, forget about it. There's one that I know of, and then there's one or two in Georgetown, but facilities are not there.
Yeah. You need to have like a park.
It's like a shelter. That's all. They're like shelters.
No, they need an outdoor space so they can go walk and run. In a safe zone.
Yeah, yeah.
They can a pool where they can exercise. Things like that.
I really don't know if they have anything planned in the future for that particular situation, but they need to.
Yeah, they need to get a minister for the seniors, the senior citizen health. The health department need to look at
Yeah,
senior living centers, things
citizens'
like that.
concerns.
Huh?
Yeah, because the persons are aging every day.
Yeah, I mean the population. It's Guyana does not have that mass of a population, but it's a lot more elderly, and it's going to be even more in a couple of years.
Oh yeah, because the generations are getting older every day.
Baby boomers are, and all the other generations after that, they're going up there, man. People who were most of the people in their 50s and 60s and some 70s.
Hmm.
The young people and yesterday and now the old people today.
That reminds you when you were younger. You see when someone is 40, you say, "Oh, there's an old man."
Oh man, yeah.
Right? You were in your 20s, and the man is in the 40s. He's an old man. Now,
Oh,
when you're in your 40s,
mm.
when the man is in the 60s, is in the 40s. Now you're saying, "Oh, he's an old man."
Yeah. People are living longer, and I mean, before the pandemic, the population was heavy. I mean, with the elderly and seniors.
Yeah, many of them would have passed on.
Yeah, they did after that. A lot of elderly. passed on.
Yeah,
But still, they need to make provisions for seniors. Get some nice, wonderful centers and places that they can go. I mean, be able to walk and do things just to stay active in a safe zone.
yeah. The other thing is that many of the elderly persons have skills.
Yeah,
They have skills that they could pass on to the younger
young
generations,
generation.
and
Yeah,
if the facilities are in place, these people can actually have persons come there and they can learn different skills or different crafts and
yeah.
all sorts of things if the facilities are in place.
Mm-hmm.
But those
Well,
facilities don't exist, not here.
well, they need to start. They have. I'm pretty sure they may have some plans to do something. You know.
Maybe they have started, but we don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway,
True.
yeah, but we found that we're finding more and more in our screenings and treatment that most of the elderly persons are suffering with these same types of conditions: the
Mhm.
cramps, the numbness, the pains in the bones and joints, inability to walk properly. They can't raise their hands because most of them are suffering with osteoporosis and they have no clue.
Yeah. Or they.
They have
Or
no
they.
clue, and we're finding that, and then they're told that, oh, you have arthritis, you have arthritis. What is arthritis anyway, right?
Well, just what I'm seeing is that uh, a lot of elderly, when I check the joints, they having some alpha virus and flavivirus, mosquito bites, or they have Lyme disease or something,
Or chikungunya.
or chikungunya,
Yeah.
exactly chikungunya, flavivirus, and it's on a joint, in making the joint inflaming it, and that's what they're referring to as arthritis. If you were able to get rid of the inflamed joint,
Right, you remove the inflammation,
right,
the arthritis will go.
right. I did it just a few days ago. Um, I was giving some bioresonance to uh, a patient, and she mentioned, she said, I'm having very bad problems on my right shoulder, and when I checked the shoulder, yeah, it was those viruses were there, and I gave her some bioresonance, and then she came back 2 days later and says, that thing worked. My shoulder pain is gone. You
My
know,
resonance is very helpful, very serious. It happened today also here.
yeah,
We administered by resonance, and it made a difference right away.
yeah.
Right away. Yeah.
So it's just treating them. When we were old, when we were younger, like I tell people, I talk about this often. When you go to like at nights at 7:30, 8 o'clock, all elderly people, persons are getting ready for bed, and you go in the house, you go by and visit them, you can smell all the Bengay and all
Hmm. Hmm.
the rubbing up the joint.
Yeah.
Well,
Tourmaline. You remember Tourmaline?
yeah, yeah, all those things.
I don't know if that still exists.
The reason why they're doing so is because those joint pains that they're experiencing is because of mosquito bites.
Yes.
You know, and
Yeah.
mosquito bites. These alpha and flaviviruses. It causes arthritis. You know, along with chikungunya and all the other you know
Yeah. I
disease.
was just looking at Tourmaline. I guess it just came back to me.
Yeah,
Uh, historically referred to a medicated wadding designed to provide warmth and pain relief.
yeah.
Yeah.
So those things,
It actually helped things like rheumatism, lumbago,
Mhm.
sciatica.
Mhm.
Tourmaline.
Mhm.
Yeah, that just came back to me. I remember that. That was something that it's still out there, Tourmaline.
Yeah, do they sell it in Indiana? They don't sell it.
I don't think so. I'm going to find out, but they have pictures of it here.
Yeah,
I'm going to investigate it. Vintage Tourmaline.
yeah. All those things because of mosquito bites. And
Yeah.
over the years, constantly being bitten.
You're talking about mosquito bites. I have a couple who but I take care of the family anyway.
Mm.
And over the years, I've been encouraging them to screen their home because we were finding, different conditions related to mosquito bites and all that. And they were here last week. So I didn't find those conditions that I found in them normally. So I said, I want to believe that you screen your house. He said, "Oh yeah. We screen the house, man. And you can't believe how we can sleep now. You don't have to worry about the nets and about the mosquitoes buzzing in your ears and spray the house with all the chemicals." So they realized after screening the house, screening up the windows and doors to
Made a
keep the
difference.
mosquitoes out, how valuable that was. And I say that to persons all the time. When you have some money, especially in our country, Guyana, screen your house,
Yeah,
screen on your windows, and get a mesh door, and you will not believe the difference it makes with the flies, mosquitoes, and all the insects and all of that.
Mhm.
It changes the picture totally. Just screening the windows and doors.
yeah. You get some ease, man. It's hard to sleep with a net. It makes you so hot.
Oh, people do it here all the time in Guyana. They sleep with
Right.
a net. They sleep with all the windows closed too.
No.
You know, if you have the mesh on the window, you can open the window and get the fresh air,
Fresh air.
the
Sleep a
fresh
lot better.
clean air, cool air that comes through the window.
Yeah.
So I'm encouraging people again on the program today. Screen your homes. Many persons have these louver windows, the louvers with the
Mhm.
glass. Remember those? It's easy to screen those windows with louvers. It's
Yeah.
easy. You have to screen it from the outside. That's it.
And then they need to go around the house and make sure they're not breeding mosquitoes.
Well, that's another thing. Keep the grass cut. Keep the water out of the yard. Look at look around your yards and make sure that there are no containers that are retaining water, like your tires, old buckets.
Hmm.
Many persons have those things around their yards, and what they're doing, they're creating um, breeding ground for mosquitoes,
Yep.
and have no clue they're doing it.
Yeah, you're growing them things and homegrown.
Homegrown mosquitoes.
Homegrown and home fed. They can come feed
They
on
come into the house and feed from you, from your blood. Yeah, we don't play with that.
That's a good
Um,
thing.
we don't play with the screenings. I don't like nothing flying around. I don't like the sound of the buzzing of the mosquito.
Yeah,
I want to see a fly. I don't even want to see a fly.
I don't want to. They come. Your new visitor. They come and welcome you with a song.
They bring a song and then they leave something before they go. Yeah. So,
No.
so what the elderly should do, not only the elderly, what needs to happen is that you need to look at avoiding the unwanted guests into your home. The
Yeah.
mosquitoes, the flies, the roaches, the rats.
Hmm.
You keep those things out of your house because they don't leave without leaving a problem for you. There are many persons who have homes with rats inside, mice,
Oh,
you
they're
know,
not lonely.
and that is not a good thing. Not a good thing.
They have a. They have a pet. Some people keep them as pet here, man.
I know.
Oh my
They
goodness.
call There's a name that they call him.
They keep them as pet and they let them loose all around.
Imagine that.
And we.
Not in my house. Not in my house. I don't want nothing crawling and
Yeah, they name him Pepe. I'm looking for Pepe.
yeah. But I think that we need to get more serious about uh, keeping those mosquitoes out by screening, doing
Yeah.
some exercise, get some walking done, do some walking, do some. You don't have to go anywhere to get exercise. You can jump rope, you can jump on the spot, you can do your jumping jacks, you can do your push-ups. You don't have to go anywhere. You say, well, I gotta go to the gym. You don't have to. You don't have to. The yard is good enough for a lot of things to happen, and even in your own home.
Yeah.
So
If you
no
can
more
walk.
excuse about going to the gym. You don't have to go anywhere to get the exercise.
Gym. A
And then you
lot of people have gym memberships. They don't even go.
don't even go anywhere. Then there are many persons with things like treadmills in the homes that are hanging clothes on it. It doesn't. I, I don't encourage anyone to buy any of those things at all, because after a month or two they become a piece of furniture in the house. You know,
It
you end up hanging your clothes on it or your hat or something, and you just look at it and you walk by because
was a conversation piece. Oh, I got a treadmill.
I got treadmill home. You
Yeah.
see, what we found is that you have to be motivated to achieve certain things.
Mhm.
Something has to motivate you. If you have the pain, then we know it's inflammation.
Yep.
Do something to get the inflammation moving, get it out of your system. You know, if you're having a lot of gas, it means that you're eating the wrong way, or your digestive system is not working properly. Have an investigation done to see why, see what it is. People drink a lot of hot tea in Guyana. In many parts of the world, they do that. Don't drink hot tea. Don't eat hot food. You want to eat. You want to heat the tea to get it to sleep, if that's what it is. But then drink the tea warm, not hot. You don't have to blow it to drink it. If you have to blow it, it's too hot. Same with the food. You want to heat the food hot enough to kill bacteria. Because even if you're not eating any foods with flesh, if it sits there and it's not refrigerated properly, it's going to get bacteria.
Yeah. It's not heated properly. When a lot of people take their food, their lunch rice, and they take it for lunch, but they don't heat reheat the rice, and they get Bacillus cereus, which is the bacteria that cause them to have a whole lot of diarrhea and pain and everything else. If you're gonna use the rice, the white rice, you gotta heat it properly to kill that bacteria, because that bacteria is in the rice naturally, and it if you consume the rice cold, you're consuming the bacteria.
Exactly. And then you get some people get E. coli bacteria.
And E.
They
coli.
get salmonella, you know, all sorts of things. They do it to themselves and don't realize it.
Yeah. Some
There's
people.
some people who just take the food out of the fridge and eat it.
Yeah, yeah. You get problems. You get problems. You know.
And it happens a lot with the elderly. They start eating,
Mhm.
and then they put the food down. They cover it on the table, you know, on the plate. They didn't finish all of it. It's on the plate. They cover it down, and it's on the table. And then maybe 3 hours later, 4 hours later, they feel like eating again. They go back, take off the cover, and they eat the food. Say, oh, well, I only cooked it this morning. Well, guess what? When you ate it at lunchtime, the bacteria probably wasn't there. But now you're eating it in the dinner time, and
Yeah.
you didn't warm it or you didn't heat it to kill any bacteria. You think it's okay because you cook it today. Guess what? You know,
Toxins develop.
yeah, because the food that you cook is not pure natural food. It's got chemicals inside. It came from the garden. It came from a farm, someplace where they sprayed for insects and all of that. So
And it got pieces of insects in it.
possible too.
Yeah. I mean, here in America, they have a certain percentage of an insect
Allowed.
allowed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So most of the foods that we're consuming, we're consuming a lot of things in it that we normally we see crawling around. We wouldn't want to be. Someone would run and kill it, but there's a lot of insects in the food. Sometimes you have eggs,
Yes.
food, for worms and different things.
Yeah.
So we're consuming a lot of things in our systems. That's the reason why you mentioned the last time, I think it was, that we need to detox and deworm. You know, detox and deworm.
You should never stop detoxifying and deworming.
Yeah,
And uh, it's important because when you eat foods that contain chemicals and larvae and eggs and all that, when you deworm and detox, it helps to flush them out. It
yep,
helps to flush them out. And many persons don't detoxify themselves. They think warm medicines are only for children. You know, adults don't need warm medicine.
you're
You know what I'm saying?
making me laugh because I had just a few hours ago an adult, and I know she don't mind me sharing this story. Uh, have felt something unusual in the back of her, and when it was pulled, it was a worm, a tapeworm. You
You
know,
mean in the rectum?
yeah.
Yeah.
You feel like something there sometimes.
You feel like something hanging on.
Hanging out there.
He's hanging out. He came to see how he came to see the sunlight.
Yeah, you told me that story a few hours ago. I'm like I guess you said they're surprised to know that at this age they're having worms, and yeah, adults do get worms.
The
The
older
same
you
thing with
get,
your
the older
parents.
you are,
Huh?
the older you are, the longer the worms.
Yeah, they live longer. You have
Yeah.
many generations of them in here. So I saw today a whole lot more. I mean, everywhere, every every organ almost.
Worms.
Yeah, worms. And
When you come forward, you cut off half of you is cut off.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of worms, man. A lot of worms. I saw a lot of worms. Uh,
So what do you suggest that people do with the worms or for the worms
well,
at home? There are many
at
persons
home,
who.
at homes, I mean, there are certain things that they can. For example, a simple thing. Um, the seeds for the papaya,
Oh yeah. Hmm.
that kills worms.
Oh yes, it does. You just have to chew it.
Yeah, and it's not taste. It doesn't taste good.
It's
Very
very
well.
pungent. It has a very pungent taste.
Yeah, what it actually does, it knocks the worms out. I mean, it's like anesthetize them, and they come out.
Yeah.
When you go to the bathroom, I mean, they're released because they have like it's called scoliosis. That they some of them are hooking on to the intestinal walls and different places wherever they are. And when you use just a simple thing as a papaya, the papaya seed,
You go on half again.
yeah.
The picture is halfway and enough.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When you go
Yeah,
to the
I
right,
don't understand. I don't
when you go to
understand.
the right, it happens.
Yeah, we gotta. Yeah. So I suggest using that. I mean, that's
They
one.
can use that. They can also use clove,
Yeah.
strong clove.
We have a lot of the super parasite cleanse. We can use that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that is a combination of all of the factors
All of the things.
that are you know that are in something to destroy and to remove parasites. So
Yeah.
the super parasite cleanse is excellent. I mean, it just
It,
blows them out. Something is in there that they cannot adapt to, and they try
mhm.
to run from the war from that medicine, and they run right out. They come right out in the stool.
Yeah.
When you go
Come
there,
right up. You
they
know.
come out. Yeah,
You should try to eliminate a lot of sugar and alcohol and flesh. These are things that they feed on.
yeah.
Drink a lot of water. You know, and garlic has a property too that helps with
Garlic. Yeah,
antiparasitic.
yeah.
Um, Vitamin C also, helps to, like you said, boost the immune system. That helps to fight that too. You know,
So you
pumpkins.
want to detox and you want to deworm,
Yeah,
and then you want to enhance your immune system.
yeah,
That I have information on vitamin C that vitamin C cures cancer too.
yeah.
Yeah, vitamin C helps the body to cure cancer.
Hmm.
Vitamin C, there's actually a treatment protocol with vitamin C
Hmm.
that kills cancer cells.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah. And the thing is, these things are not everything works for everybody because even though we have very similar body parts and everything else, we
everybody's body is different.
everybody's body is different.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
we have wormwood. You can use wormwood or
Right,
walnut and all
right,
that stuff.
right.
You know, they say coconut oil too. You know, have some
Yeah.
potential benefits to help you with that too. So, uh,
Dr. Richard, we got about 5 minutes more.
okay. I mean, if individuals, the thing is, what I find is a lot of people they take the dewormer, right, and they haven't taken it for years, and they just take it for one day.
And they expect that it will kill all the worms.
Yeah,
It doesn't work like
it
that.
don't work like that.
You see, what persons don't understand, and no time is going, but we'll continue this next time, is that there's some of those worms that multiply like crazy. There's one particular worm in the system that lays 200,000 eggs per day for one
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
You know,
they do.
and if you have, for instance, if you have that worm in you, and you had it for 2 or 3 years in you, can you imagine if the female worm is in there laying those eggs every day? What's going on with your body in there?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, they all might not survive, but the majority will probably survive and manifest and and and, and infest you with more worms.
yeah,
You know, you got threadworm, tapeworm,
drum
pinworm,
worm,
lungworm,
worms, all
all
different
those
types,
different types. I've
fish
seen
worm,
I've seen so many pig worms.
yeah,
You know, I've seen so many different
yeah,
worms.
all different types of worms, man. It's the worm population. I was looking at one text. It says there are over 300 different types of worms.
Imagine that.
300 different types of worms.
So when you take the worm medicine and you expect it to work for you in one day with one dose,
No,
forget it. It ain't gonna happen.
yeah,
You don't know, first of all, how many worms you have in you.
yeah. I mean, you didn't do the thing for years, you know, and you can't get a 1 day cure. As a matter of fact, you may make them worms angry, and they
I think it
retaliate.
does. In some persons, I think it does because
Yeah, because they
when they
get
screen
allergic
the next
reactions
time,
and all sorts of things.
when they screen the next time, you see more worms. So
Yeah, yeah,
what has happened is that the medicine actually went down into the chambers and raked up the worms. You know, just awaking them so they could get active and get out. You know,
hmm
so that is something that people need to they need to consider as part of the protocol is deworming and detoxing. And I say you do it at least 2 or 3 times a month. Just like you clean your house every day. I'm not saying do it every day, but at least once a week you want to clean your detoxify yourself.
hmm
Cleanse your system.
hmm hmm
So anyway, we will continue the our discussion on the next program.
hmm
The time is already up. And,
Wow.
I thought we would have gotten back over 15 minutes, but we're not going to get it
Okay.
because the time is up. And I want to thank you for your participation. The caller who came through, I want to thank her. But I know for the most part, people listen. They listen, but we want them to air their views, air their concerns. If you have a health concern, make a note of it. And on next program, we can raise the question: what do I do for this, or what do I do for that? If I have this problem and I've tried all these things and it's not going, what else should I do? There's nothing wrong with asking us the questions, and we're gonna do our best to try to help you. But if you feel like you need to see us, you can call, make an appointment at the same number on the screen, and you'll see myself, Dr. Richard, or Dr. Tatiana, because it's three of us who work, and we're here just to help you to get better.
Mhm.
Any final words for the day?
Could they write a letter or write you and send in the questions for the next time? You
Well,
know,
you know what we need to do? We need to check our email. As a while since I
or
did it this
email
week,
it. Yeah,
because people would send questions to the email.
it'd be nice if they can send it a week ahead. You know, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter what we're discussing. If they have a concern, we can spend some time initially and on the questions and then just move from there.
Yeah, that would be good if they can write,
Yeah,
email us, and let us know what the questions are.
yeah.
It'd be better. But sometimes people just prefer to call and mention it, and for the most part, we can handle it. It doesn't matter.
hmm
It
Either
doesn't
way.
matter. If what I used to do, and I still do it sometimes, is if the question comes and it's a complicated one, I'll give them an answer to help them to at least uh, get started with something. And then when I come
Mhm.
back, I would, you know, either point them somewhere or continue to give them more advice.
That's
And you
good.
know, Dr. Richard, I want to thank you for your participation. Thank the guys in the studio. And until we are able to get back together,
Hmm.
you take care of yourself, get
Okay,
some rest,
that's right.
stay out
Rest.
of the rain, and
Sleepy weather,
be
boy.
healthy. So until we meet again, my friends, thank you for participating and for watching. God bless you so long and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you
Yes.
very much. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers. I
That's
was to do that the last program, but it slipped me. So happy belated Mother's Day to all of the mothers across the continent who are viewing us.
mhm.
Good night. God bless you.